Hey everybody, this is Shane with Shane Baker Studios. We are doing some podcast once a week now, and I'm pretty excited about this. Something brand new for me. My goal essentially is to go ahead and reach out to other photographers, artists, models, stylists, makeup artists, videographers that are involved in the Arizona community, and just talk to them, see what their challenges are, how they're finding solutions, hopefully help out those of us who are looking for solutions, learning about who's out there, what are they doing, and how you can be a part of it. So sharing their contact information, there's a lot of great talent out here, so it's an opportunity for us to kind of bring that all together. And obviously, since this is brand new, I have no idea pretty much what I'm doing, to be honest with you. So we're gonna wing a lot of this. I've got Pablo Fernandez. He's a best friend of mine from way back in the day. Pablo, you and I have been friends for 20 plus years, right?
Yeah, 20 years. That's right.
Cool. So I've got Pablo on the show today. I call it a show. I love that. I'm the show, Pablo. So he's with me because he loves photography, and he's not a professional, which means, Pablo, you do not get paid for your photos, right?
I do not get paid.
You do not get paid. So, but he is a hobbyist. Call it that? Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. Pablo, tell us, what do you think you said something about like a technology enthusiast?
So
What do you mean by that?
Well, I love technology. So I mean, whether it's computers, phones, whatever, I try to incorporate a lot of that into photography. So I got my love for photography from my dad. He was always like the DSLR type. I remember.
Dude, I had no idea.
Yeah, I remember back in the '80s. I mean, he always had this big, huge Canon, not DSLR, but SLR, the setup at the time and stuff. And
From your dad in Colombia, right?
yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Pablo is Colombian.
Yeah.
So Latin heat over here. All right. He's taking ladies. All right.
So, I got my love from him, and then, when I first started off, when I was younger, I would just buy like lower end point and shoot cameras and stuff, and just see what.
So are you talking about like the '80s cameras where you like had to like crank it to like the Kodak ones?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
remember those?
exactly, yeah.
Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, every time you take a picture, you gotta, do that crank.
There's something satisfying about that, though. It just, you know what I mean? As opposed to digital, there's something satisfying about having to do something. Remember,
And anytime you got any kind of tactile feelings, something you gotta.
Yeah, exactly.
Manipulate, yeah.
All right, so back in the day, you're taking photos because your dad, you kind of followed in his footsteps a little bit, right? So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
saw his passion for it.
Yeah, I saw his passion for it because he had a lot of cameras and lenses and flashes and stuff.
Okay.
Just always mess around with. But so when I got a little bit older, and younger, like my younger 20s, I was like, oh man, I really want to get some cameras and whatever.
Okay.
And the first digital camera I ever bought was this Samsung, maybe like 5 megapixel camera or whatever.
Okay, right,
And I
got
go,
you.
man, this thing's great. And the thing was, I loved the fact that I could take better photos at the time than the regular, like what a Razor can do or
Yeah.
a BlackBerry, because those things take photos, but they're just not any good.
Yeah.
So I wanted something the next level up.
Right. Next 5 megapixel, next
Right,
level.
Next level,
I love
yeah.
that. All right,
Throw
good stuff.
some better optics in there. So
when was this?
this is like 2006, 2007.
Okay, so a
Yeah.
while back, and then so keep going.
And then I would take, so many thousands of photos with a camera, and I realized like, okay, these are the shortcomings, these are the things that I don't like and I do like, whether they.
So give me an example, like when you talk about shortcomings, like what are you looking for in a photo that tells you there's a shortcoming with the camera?
Well,
as far as, do you mean like I've got a vision in my mind of what this photo needs to look like, and then here's what I'm getting.
Right. So.
And there's a vast canyon between the two.
The main thing that I just really want is just a well-exposed photo.
Okay.
I mean, whether it's like, daytime, nighttime, whatever. I just want just a good photo. Like, oh man, this is a good photo. I can show people and stuff.
Okay,
But
right.
the thing is, I was finding like those like really slow focus.
Okay.
So like I could get on a subject and I'm sitting there kind of doing like half click and it's like sitting there trying to find the spot to focess in. I'm like,
Right.
oh man, and then finally I miss a shot or whatever. Like, oh, this takes too long.
Yeah, exactly.
Or nighttime is like too much grain, or
Okay.
any one of the number of things that I just didn't like about it. And there's only
Right.
maybe half of the photos turned out okay. Right.
Well, you're doing pretty good if half of them are turning out okay.
All right.
So yeah.
So then I go, oh man, well, this point and shoot's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the next level up and go like a little bit more expensive,
Right.
like mid-tier point and shoot and stuff, and
Got it.
and get something like that, and then and that's when I started the first, I guess like decent point and shoot had actual manual controls. And it was one of the first point and shoots that actually had that. So I was like,
Okay,
oh man,
gotcha, yeah.
I could change exposure and a little bit of aperture, not a whole lot, but just a little bit.
Right.
And I'm like, man, this is great. And then next level up, like some other features like GPS and Wi-Fi and, just more tech stuff, but not really so much really centered in photography. That would make
So yeah, so you came from it from the angle of I love the new thing, the new doggle on it, the new feature on it,
right?
from a technology standpoint,
Sure.
rather than I'm super passionate about photography, and when Facebook comes out in a few years, I'm gonna dominate with my albums online, right?
Right.
Okay, got you. So
So I mean, if you compare what I have actually on Facebook to what I have in real life, I mean, Facebook maybe 400 photos, if that.
and
you
you've
know.
taken probably thousands of photos.
Then my photo library is like about 30 to 40,000 photos in there.
Got it.
So-
So you probably know a lot more actually about the old school cameras and stuff than even I do, because like I came to it really new. We'll talk about that another time. But so you kind of grew up with this as a part of your life in some
Right.
form.
Right.
Okay.
I think that was something else that my parents kind of instilled in me was like having a good camera, is because they always had, like at the time, it was a really nice.
Are you guys like Asian Colombian?
What's that?
Are you guys Asian Colombian?
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
We
do
eat a
that.
lot
No.
of Asian food.
Right.
So,
I love Asians, so for all my Asian friends, if you're the one person listening to this, I'm sorry.
so that was one thing they always had. They always had, was just one really, really nice camera.
Okay.
And they always, at the time it was like, different, I guess like different shutter speed film, like 100, 200, for like, I'm like, wow, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Right.
I'm just trying to get a little bit to and stuff.
Got it.
And
So let's fast forward to today. So what are you shooting with today?
so today I use two things. I either use my iPhone for pretty much like every day, just take pictures of stuff here
Got
and
it.
there.
Right.
And then when I want to do obviously a lot more than just basic point and shoot style camera, I have a Nikon D5100.
Got it. So you're a Nikon guy, right?
Well, I'm actually a Canon guy.
See, I'm a Canon guy.
I'm
Why-
a Canon guy.
Why do you have a
I
Nikon?
I love Canons, but at the time when I bought the camera, when I was researching cameras, I liked the Nikon better, and that was the only reason why. Just there's like one
So
or two features here and there.
Okay, all right. So at
But
the
I-
time when you got it, but
but I-
now you've converted over. You just
Right.
haven't made the switch with the
Right,
hardware.
right. But
Okay.
before that, I think I had three.
So your soul belongs to the Canon side.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
got
I
you.
still have like three other Canon point and shoots that I still use.
Okay,
that I have,
got
yeah.
you. Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
So now everybody wants to know. I love saying that. Everybody wants to know. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody does.
Everybody wants to know. What do you shoot? And like, what kind of photography do you do?
It's just a mixture of everything. I have two kids,
Okay.
so I'll say about 80% of my photos are taking pictures of my kids and stuff.
Right. Documenting their lives.
Yeah, just
Good
documenting
stuff.
their lives,
Okay.
just things that they do.
So like a flip book of them when they're like 30, and they're like, "Holy crap! I just saw my whole life." in, like,
Right.
2 minutes. Okay.
That's exactly right. And then, then everything else, just like life, people, places.
So you don't have like a specialty. So you wouldn't say like, "Hey, I shoot landscapes as a hobby," or "I shoot street photography as a hobby." You pretty much shoot whatever you want. Like, well, we shoot whatever we want anyways, but you shoot everything.
Right, that's true. But yeah, I mean, I would say,
Is there anything that you like better than the other?
no, I actually do like landscapes more than shooting anything else. I think.
Okay.
I think I've actually flipped that. I take more photos of my family with my like say camera phone.
Right.
And then land.
So your wife is listening. So just for her, your kids are your favorite thing to shoot.
Absolutely.
The next would be landscapes, right?
Next in
Okay,
landscapes,
got
yeah.
you. Perfect. So what do you like about landscapes? What is it about it that you enjoy shooting?
It's just beautiful scenery. It's kind of everything. You get to I guess experience the outdoors. Number one being out there, but then also like you get to take it home with you
Okay.
and see it later.
Right, right.
So
Got it. I like it, man. So you just moved back to Arizona. So have you taken advantage of the scenery here?
not a whole lot.
Okay, why not?
Yeah, not a whole lot. Just because just busy with work, life, and stuff or whatever. But
Got it.
yeah, I want to start making more time for that.
Okay, what do you want to shoot while you're here? Anything on your...
What I would really like to do is, and especially Arizona is great for this, is a lot of nighttime shooting, but not so much in Phoenix. So I want to go out to the desert or to the mountains like northern Arizona and stuff.
So now, are you talking about like, stars and
Yeah.
nebula? Okay.
Right, exactly.
Got it.
So I got a good
I got a good friend of mine. I got to hook you up with him. His name's Mark Latham. He
Okay.
does astrophotography. He's really good at it too. So
Awesome.
yeah, maybe I'll put you two together and you can go out and join him on. But I think he's actually studying something like that at ASU.
Okay.
So no, his stuff's phenomenal. Good stuff.
Yeah, so I invested in a really good tripod.
Okay.
And I got some, just like a couple clickers and wireless clickers and stuff or whatever, so you can set up really good.
Yeah, got you. So
Yeah.
and you need your wireless clickers because.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you call them, right? So
Just remote,
yeah,
yeah.
you're remote. Yeah, you've got me using words that I don't normally use. Thank you. So, and you need that for long exposure,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so the trick is for long exposure photography, especially nighttime architecture photography. I do this for that too. You set the camera up so where your shutter's open for a long period of time, longer than it would be possible to hold a steady image. So
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
talking like
Yeah.
sometimes up to 30 seconds or longer,
Sure.
depending on how dark it is, what you're going for. So that shutter, it's off the camera, it's in your hand, you're not touching it, not touching the tripod. It allows you to go ahead and get that long duration without having to worry about moving your camera
Right,
around.
yeah, never physically touch a camera.
Yeah,
I just
got
set
it.
it up. And, yep.
Cool, man. Excellent. What was that?
I don't know.
What? We're having technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Yeah. Do not touch the cords around us right now. All right. So, this is really jerry-rigged right now. We're recording some video with my phone, my Android phone, my Galaxy S4. And, yeah, this is actually our second take. It's because the first one failed miserably because I got a phone call in the middle of
Call in
it.
the middle of it.
So we had to stop the video. Anyways, all right, great. So Pablo, what do you think are some of the challenges that you've had as an amateur photographer?
So some of the things that I see and that I would like to get more.
Actually, let's do this. I want to back up. So let's talk about what your goal is. All right, everything should start with what your goal is, what your vision is. So when it comes to photography, as an amateur, are you looking at one day getting paid for it? Do you want to just make it just a really great hobby? Do you want to improve the quality? Do you want to get published somewhere? Like, what is your goal when you're getting this stuff, or is it just strictly I want the newest toy out there, and it just happens to be a camera?
It's kind of I want the newest toy, but also I want to really learn how to get out of auto.
Okay. So you shoot auto right now,
Well,
mostly.
mostly auto. Yeah.
Okay.
I shoot mostly auto, and that's kind of my own fault because I started using manuals a lot.
Right.
And I was getting decent, but then I just got busy and forgot about it.
You
and
got busy and
Yeah.
forgot about the M on your camera. Okay. I love that. That's awesome. Okay,
So a lot of the stuff I get.
so do you plan on getting unbusy so you can remember that the M is there?
Yeah, exactly. Because the problem is, it's not that I take bad photos, or not necessarily that they're bad.
You just want more control over it.
I want more control, but what I do is when I take the photo
Okay.
and then I look at the LCD, I'm like, oh, this looks fine. But then when I look at it on the computer, it's always overexposed.
Got
And
it.
Not so much that you
Right.
can't use it. But
Well, let me
I would-
ask you: are you using your histogram on your camera, on the back of the screen?
No.
No. Okay. So here's a little tip, right? So for Pablo, one of his issues, if I'm hearing you correctly, is overexposure, right?
Yes, yep.
So you're outside. I imagine you don't shoot with strobes. You're out there using natural light. The sun
Right.
is your light. Okay. Cool. And there's a histogram that you can pop up on that screen, and essentially what's going to do is show you the valleys and the peaks
Right.
of hot spots and dark areas on your camera, what you're looking at. So if you use that histogram and then you go into manual mode, you'll be able to adjust that so that you can get just, I don't want to say just the right histogram, because it's all dependent on taste too. Maybe you want a blown out photo for a particular thing, but that'll help you see if you're too overexposed. And I can show you some of that stuff later on. So bring over your camera. It's not here, I know, but
Right.
yeah, and we'll pull up that histogram and I'll show you a super quick, easy fix for that. What else? What are some other challenges that you've got? Well, no, we're not talking about challenges yet. We're talking about what you want to do. So you want to be able to just take a great photo.
I just want to be able to be proficient enough
Proficient? Okay.
in manual that I know what settings to put it at and just take a good photo.
Got
and
it.
I know there's always going to be like, you know, post editing.
Yeah.
You got to go back and fix and touch up and stuff or whatever. But,
Yeah.
But most of the time, I just want to be able just to take a good photo the first time, and then.
Got it. So it sounds like you really come from the technical side. You just like, look, I want to be proficient. I want to know how to use it, know what the features are. I want to be able to look at my final product and say, okay, that's a well-created photo and image. You know what I mean? All the settings were correct on it. So that seems to be where you're coming from. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So you're not shooting manual all the time yet.
No.
Do you have any plans to fix that? Because that is a problem.
Sure.
Okay. What is your plan to fix that?
Well, I've actually purchased a few. I'm gonna say a few, like maybe one or two, like online courses.
Okay.
On how to shoot auto.
Right. How to
no,
shoot
no,
auto or get out of auto?
Get out of auto.
Right.
That's what I
Okay.
meant, right,
Gotcha.
right.
Get out of auto.
You know, but then
See, which brings me to another point, man. There's a lot of information online. So if you get stuck, you can go online. The better stuff is there's gonna be a little bit of a price on it, oftentimes, but most of the time you can also find free things out there, or talk to a friend of yours that a photographer and can give you some insight. But you know, don't be afraid to invest in your education. I guess that's
Right.
kind of my point when it comes to that. So you've got a couple of courses that you've got online that are going to show you how to come out of my. Have you made time to go in and watch those and actually implement it?
yeah, I've actually watched those, you know, and they're good. But then what I try to find is, or the problems I come up with is trying to actually use them in real life.
Okay.
You know, different situations where
Ah,
the
got
video
it.
said, okay, you know, video is only kind of structured in one situation, and you're like,
Right.
okay, well, I'm trying to adapt this, but it's, you know, I just have to actually go and have the experience to do it.
Got it. Okay, so experience. So that means you're gonna have to get out there and actually shoot.
Exactly.
Cool. So
Right.
do you think it would benefit you to have maybe some friends you can go out with? At least one person knows what they're doing, kind of showing you in different scenarios. Hey, so we're gonna be outdoors, shooting a sunset. Sun's going down. We're gonna go somewhere else, shoot, and then just kind of experiencing that all really.
Right, exactly. I mean, if I was taking like nighttime shots or something, you know, like daytime or whatever, if I had somebody who says like, look, if you're in this situation, this is probably just a, you know, really good setup to do.
Right.
You know, these settings and stuff. Then, oh, okay, then I could, you know, kind of have like a baseline to follow.
Got it.
You know, whereas this is where I just kind of go in and I literally just start clicking through menus and hitting buttons and stuff, and I take pictures like, oh, I don't like this. Let me switch it all back around. And
Right, got
Yeah,
you. So,
yeah.
you don't have a kind of a set. For me, I know when I shoot manual, I've gotten to the point where I know what I need to do to get the shot that I'm
Right.
looking for, and so I assess the situation. I know, okay, boom, I'm gonna have to, you know, I set my aperture pretty much. That kind of stays where I want it to be. You know, do I want
Right.
a large depth of field, shallow depth of field, and then everything else kind of revolves around that. Okay, do I got to bump up my ISO, things like that. So, for me, I've got that workflow down pretty well. So that's something you're looking to accomplish for yourself. It sounds like,
Right.
to where you can just kind of get in there, assess the situation, and say, okay, this is what the image I want to create. What are my basic guidelines to get there, and then take the shot, and then make adjustments from there.
that's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I can help you out with that. Definitely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely, my friend. Yeah. So I'll refer you to the videos that you bought. No, just kidding. So who'd you get them from, by the way? Do you remember? Was it Creative Live? What was it? Do you
Oh,
know?
I can't remember. It was like maybe just like a couple dudes on YouTube who were like
Okay.
promoting stuff. Like, oh, this sounds cool.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, absolutely. So that will be me, hopefully,
Yeah.
soon. Yeah, promoting me
Very
in Shane Baker Studios. So my own brand of camera. I'm coming out with Shane Baker Studios camera. It takes perfect photos every time, no matter where you are. It's awesome, and it only costs $5 million.
$5 million,
Yeah.
and it's sprinkled with unicorn.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. It's amazing, right? And it gets rid of Death Eaters too when they're around you.
Right,
So
exactly.
it's Harry Potter approved. So anyways, dude, so you've got this goal, right? You want to take some really great. So what are some of the challenges that you've had to get there, to that point? Time.
Yeah, you know, just time, just because you're busy with family and stuff.
So you have family,
you know,
work.
trying to find either a place to shoot or
How many times a week do you shoot? Be honest. You get the camera out, the Nikon, and you're actually shooting using it.
No, actually, it's maybe once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
Dude, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
You know, that's pretty much like, it should be like sex, right? If you're having sex once a month,
Right.
you got to change something
you
up,
gotta
man.
change
All
something,
right?
exactly.
You got to you got to pull that thing out more often and show us some tender love and care, man. So once a week at least, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. So once a month. All right. So here's the point that I'm making though. If you shoot once a month, how many times a year do you have to try your new techniques and readjust? You have 12, right? If you shoot once a week, how many times do you have to readjust and improve upon your photography? You have 52.
Sure.
If you shoot once a day, how many times do you have? You have 365 times in that year that you can go ahead and make adjustments. So depending obviously on your schedule and how serious you are about your photography and what you really want to do with it, you can kind of look at those guidelines and say, okay, realistically, how quickly do I want to get where I'm going? So somebody that's shooting, once a week is going to be years ahead of the guy that's shooting once a month in that case. So that would be my challenge to you. So, bump it up, man, once a week.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have here's the other thing too. Like people say, shoot every day, shoot like any project, doesn't matter what it is. I have a problem with that because if I'm not passionate about what it is that I'm shooting, I'm really not going to put the time and energy into getting the great shot that I'm looking for.
Right.
Right. So most of my stuff I plan it out. I'm pretty methodical about my photos. So with the once a week, you love landscape. You're brand new back in Arizona. I mean, you lived here a long time ago, but I would just use that opportunity to explore and say, okay, for 2 hours a week, which is nothing, I'm going to go and explore some brand new place, check out a building. I have my camera, my brand new tripod, and just go take some photos and see what I get. And then if you do that once a week, you're going to get an opportunity to go in and make adjustments and get that manual, basically experience that you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So where are you gonna go, man? So today's Thursday. Week's not over, man. I'm gonna challenge you to get something. You got 4th of July tomorrow.
Well, so yeah, it's good to bring it up. So tomorrow I actually could, set up my tripod and try it out a little bit, for some fireworks shots.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's some great tutorials online I've been looking at. Everybody wants to learn how to shoot some really great fireworks. So
Right.
you got that. You got crowds, people, you know what I mean? So you said you like to shoot some of that a little bit. You got your family out there.
Right.
And then depending on where you go, where you guys going to go watch the fireworks?
Oh, probably downtown Mesa.
Downtown Mesa. Okay, I was going to say find some great scenery. You're not going to find it in downtown Mesa. So I love Mesa. I was raised there. But yeah, you're not going to find some great scenery in downtown Mesa.
Yeah.
However, you will find a few little artsy type things
Yeah,
down there.
there might be some stuff downtown.
cool.
Yeah, it might be.
All right. So Pablo, I mean, what else do you have for us today? Any hopes, aspirations, anything you want to kind of challenge yourself with in the next year? You've got half the year left.
So some things I'd like to,
All right, hold on. All right, so yeah, you've got 6 months left.
right. So what I would really like to do is just be proficient in manual
Okay,
or in shutter priority
okay.
or was it aperture priority and then shutter?
Yeah, well, I would recommend just go straight to manual, man.
Yeah.
Go straight to manual. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially if you like doing your landscape stuff, you're going to get so much control over what. Because here's the thing when you look at a landscape and you're taking a photo, you see something and you're either A, trying to recreate exactly what your eyes are seeing, or B, it gives you an emotion, a feeling, there's a story behind what you're looking at. And that's what you're trying to portray, which is very often not what you see with your eyes. It could be a little bit more moody, whatever the case may be, what you do in post process. So
Right.
shooting in manual is going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and get a step closer to that. So when you do these photos, let me ask you this. I mean, which one are you? Do you like recreating exactly what your eyes are seeing? Or do you like to take more of an artistic bent to it and say, this is what I felt, this is how I viewed that experience?
I would say more in artistic.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Got it.
because even when I do like post processing and stuff, you know, if it's
What do you use? What do you use for post-processing?
So I use Lightroom.
Okay,
Use,
Lightroom.
Lightroom 5. But then, like I have a higher end HP IPS display and stuff or whatever. So
Okay.
so it's not like super professional, but it's kind of, it's pretty nice.
Right, so it's calibrated, things look good,
Yeah.
things look great. Okay.
Right. So when I try to edit a photo the way I like it to, it's kind of like still in reality, but then kind of throw like more, try to make it more vibrant or whatever.
Okay,
Yeah, try to make the skies bluer or
okay.
greener, you know, whatever. So
Right, so, yeah, it's almost like, what was that movie with Robin Williams when he died and he went to heaven? And everything's like super colorful, right? What was that called?
right.
Anyways, okay, so your challenge, Pablo, is I want you to go out this week and I want you to take some photos. And I want you to do it the week after, and the week after, the week after. So you're going to have approximately 26 experiences before the end of the year to get proficient in manual. And I promise you, if you do that, you're going to be a rock star at manual by the end of the year.
I can do that.
Just in time for Christmas photos with your family.
Right.
Good
right on.
stuff. Right. Very cool. All right. Pablo, that was awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. So, once again, this is Shane with Shane Baker Studios. You can find me online at shanebakerstudios.com. My Facebook, Shane Baker Studios. Also on Twitter. All the other social media. I'm kind of bad about keeping up with it as much as I should, so I should probably hire somebody or get an intern at least to start off with. But anyways, we're going to be doing this once a week. I want to thank you again for coming down, Pablo, and helping me out with my first interview podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good stuff. Well, hopefully we'll have you back in at least another 6 months, and we'll find out how you performed.
Sure.
Okay, dude. So if you have any questions or anything you'd like to hear about, maybe some answers to photography, or maybe there's a particular person that you know does really well here in the community and you'd like to hear from them, go ahead and send me a message, comment on this, and we'll go from there. We'll make it happen for you if we can. Thanks.